Well, everyone, the 88 Celine is sold. She getting picked up this weekend, going on transport to the new owner. Got to pull it out today, let it warm up, idle, drove it down the street. The thing runs like a freaking champ. And really hope the new owner loves it and appreciates it. Low mile, 44,000 miles on the dash. Has the aftermarket Celine intake on it. It's a very, very nice little car. So any of you watching this that recognizes that car, yes, it has been for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and it's my dad's car. I play a big part in helping out with a lot of the builds, projects, in terms of a lot of the stuff that goes on around here. I'm kind of employed to take care of a lot of this. So that's why I'm here. And also working on some of my personal stuff right now. Get the opportunity to live with my parents right now. Not something I'm proud of, but you know what? You take opportunities where you could get them. And honestly, if you get to be able to just hang out around cool shit like this, why would you not want to, right? So, we are going to discuss some things today. Good boy. Let's see here. No, camera's crooked. Let's see how does that work. Got a neon in the back. Got the Shelby neon for today's video. So, not gonna take too long on this video. Tried to shoot it a couple of times and got interrupted, and then I just lost my train of thought completely. We should be good to go now within terms of what we're gonna talk about. The Celine, pulling that thing out today. Oh, that car just brought back so much nostalgia. 88. My first car was a white 88 Mustang GT hatchback. And I'm a hatchback guy. I like my 87 and 93 hatchbacks. And I've been doing some soul searching on, what the next Mustang's gonna be. And honestly, I'm thinking right now within terms of what's available and affordability. When the opportunity presents itself, not that I need it, but I think I need a Fox Body project car. I don't necessarily need something running. I'd prefer an 89 GT hatch in white, if I could find one. There's a couple of cars kind of near that category. There's actually one down the road from me for sale on OfferUp. That one's $5,000 for a roller. And it's a moonroof car. Not a big fan of moonroof cars. I could deal, but something deep inside of me wants to just go full retard and do the channel project car that's just constantly being built and worked on, and something to kind of build the channel off of. And I think that's starting to make more sense to me now. I could probably get into a Fox Body project, start up at a reasonable price, and then get the game plan together. I already have the build in here with what I would do, but it's something that would have to be done over time within terms of everything I want to do to the car, saving up for parts, drivetrain, suspension, brakes, paint, the whole nine. I would basically rebuild the entire car and do it my way. So when it's all said and done, it's something I could just be like, yeah, that's mine. I built it. That's my shit. And it's going to be a one of one, my car. So that's what I've been kind of thinking about considering doing. I know Fox body is like the back of my hand. I prefer working on Fox bodies than most other cars. Um, and it would be a fun learning experience because some of the things I'm going to do are within terms of powertrain, things I haven't dabbled with yet or as much yet. Um, and then I have some thoughts to kind of fill the void of having something that can be driven, something that can be enjoyed, um, something that I can buy and drive and not really have to put too much money into, because I want something that's kind of already done in stock form that I could just drive and appreciate. And what I mean is, I just want a nice car. Mustang, of course, because I'm a retard. I'm a Ford guy. You guys like to say found on road dead, fucked over, rebuilt Dodge, but you want motherfuckers? First on race day. You ever get your ass whipped by a Fox body at the racetrack? It happens. Just saying. We used to do it all the freaking time. And I pissed off a little small block notchback, nitrous car. Upset a lot of people on that thing. That car won a lot of races. But taking into consideration, I do want to, over time, get myself into a budget to where it would probably have to be financed. But I do want to get a car that doesn't really need anything done to other than, maintenance, tires, oil changes, things like that. I've been thinking 0304 Cobra, as we talked about, I think a little bit in the last video. The thing is with going Cobra, I know the value of those cars are just going to keep going up, especially for like what I would want, something, ideally lower miles, something that I can drive, enjoy, and not have to worry about like, oh, it's got so many miles, oh, it's got issues, oh, it's this, it's that, it needs a fuel rail pressure sensor, it just needs some stupid bullshit. Because I'll be honest with you guys, after owning the Mach 1, everything I learned with that motor and all the shit that I had to go through and replace in it, there is a lot of bullshit that goes on with the 4-valve or even probably 2-valve 4.6 EFI platform. Within terms of cars that I've owned, I had my Fox body in high school. I've had a couple of New Edges, and New Edges were just kind of like whatever cars. They were bolt-on cars for me. I never really went, let's do custom tune, turbo, supercharger shit with most of my cars. I've always had cars I kind of enjoyed, and then something happens, and then I got to get out of them, whatever the case may be. And the Mach 1 was one of those scenarios, but I touched and replaced a lot of shit in that car. And I became very OCD and tedious with that car. Instead of like, oh, how can I monkey this thing around? Can I hit it with a hammer? Will it work? No, I just bought everything and replaced everything because I just wanted the car to work and not have to worry about it. And I don't want to repeat that with an 0304 Cobra. I want a car that's preserved. I want a car that's a time capsule. I want a car that I don't need to put much money into. So Terminator has been a considered bucket list car, and they are going to go up in value, so I'm considering that. Would be a cool car to have. I'm considering it at this point in time within terms of what I'm going to budget. I'm paying my truck off this year, as we spoke about in the last video. And that when that gets paid off, I'm going to start reallocating some funds and start setting myself up to hopefully get another toy next year. And then just got to set the goal and build that savings, which is what I'm working on getting to right now. So 0304 Cobra, preferably an 04 car. If it's an 03, an acceptable 03 color to me would be Sonic Blue. That's the only reason why I would buy an 03, to be able to buy a car in Sonic Blue. Any other color that I want, it's going to be an 04. I want the revised heads. You know, if it's like a late 03 Sonic blue car, that would just be sick. 04, preferably a triple black vert would be dope. I really would like to find a vert, as I kind of talked about in the last video, if I do a Cobra. Dark shadow gray, white. If I could find one in screaming yellow, I would consider it. Another color I would consider is red fire. It's a beautiful color. But nonetheless, you know, the Terminator is an option to look at. And there's also that part of me that wants to experience something new, something different, something more modern, something more reliable that makes power reliably. And I really want a Coyote car, guys. So it's a hard decision. So Fox Body's gonna happen. It's not going to be something that's going to be built and done in a year or 2 years. It's going to be a long process, but the staple car on the channel is going to be a Fox Body that's just going to be built in the background until it's done. And I want you guys to go along for the ride on it. Considering Cobra, bucket list car, I've always wanted one. They make the right noises. I've talked about the idea of doing like a 2020 Gen 3 car in iconic silver. If that car falls into my lap with the right miles in it and it's a 6-speed manual car, I would consider it. That or one in lightning blue. The problem is with, you know, just a Gen 3 Coyote GT, there's nothing special about it. There's no special factor. They're gonna depreciate. I would like to get into cars that appreciate or hold value. So some cars I've been looking at and considering, if I'm gonna make the investment to get something nice, and we're gonna be looking at, you know, north of $30,000, you know, when I bought my truck and I financed it at 50 grand, you know, with my down payment and everything, I got my payment under 700. That was ideally not where I wanted to be. I actually wanted to be lower, but with how everything worked out on the deal, I was able to stomach it, because another truck that they were trying to sell me was the 3.5 XLT 4x4 truck, which was 10 grand more. Every $10,000 add $100 to your finance, it was going to be an $800 a month payment. Still under $1,000, but I was like, no, I'm not paying $800 a month for a half-ton truck. Wasn't going to happen. But I could have afforded it when I got it. It wasn't that much more, and when I bought my truck, I was doing well. I was in the financial position where I could have done it if I wanted to. What's another $100 a month, right? So I like my payments down, but then I think about it and I look at it, you know, I could have got a $60,000 truck, but I got a $50,000 truck, and they both did the same thing. One just made a little more power to probably towed a little better and was more off-road capable. Didn't care. I needed a truck to get me to A to B and that could pull a trailer. So, but going back and considering that price range, depending on how I'm doing financially in the next year and what I could bring myself to budget and what I could save in that matter of time, I wouldn't mind if I could find a 21 or newer Mach 1 and Fighter Jet Gray. That car, that color, that spec, track pack. That would be a badass car to me to have. I feel it would fill the Mach 1 void, because I had a Mach 1. I still have a lot of Mach 1 stuff because I was all about having a Mach 1. And I think that would be a cool direction to go, knowing that, hey, I had the '04 Mach 1, had to go deal with some stuff, sold the car, and then replace it with another Mach 1, but a new one. That's just sick, because when you think about it, there's only 3 generations. Well, technically, I guess 4 generations of the Mach 1. The Mach 1 came out in 69. They built it in 69 and 70. Ford did the body change, and I think they continued to build them 71, 70, 71, 72. I'm not sure if they did them in 73. But it was an early generation muscle car Ford brand name. And then later on, how many years was that later? 73 to 03? So 73, 83, 93, 2003. What was that? 30 years later, they bring the legacy back. The Mach 1 name is back. They did a great job with the car. 03, 04, they brought the name back, the Mach 1. They did a lot of right things with that car. Limited production, limited edition, limited spec, limited colors. Awesome. And then 03, 04, they bring it back for 2 years and it dies again. And then they start repeating stuff again. The Bullet, the Boss. And then they bring the Mach 1 back in 21. So 04 to 14. So less than 20 years, they bring the Mach 1 back. And it's a legacy name to me. And I'm not going to lie. The 21 in Fighter Jet Gray is a gorgeous car. That car, track pack, drive it, enjoy it. Make the payment, pay it off. And if I want to dick with it and I want to fuck with it, put tires on it, change the oil. Perfectly fine car. If I want to get silly with it and I want to make more power with it, E85, tune, and put a PD blower on it, positive displacement, because that's the supercharged route I would go with that car for a power adder. I just put a TVS on it, call it a day, make 800 horsepower on the street, E85, and just enjoy the fuck out of the car. So I think a 21 and newer Fighter Jet Gray Mach 1 in that spec would be an ideal car I would consider putting on the list of goals to achieve here in the near future. There's a third Gen 3 car. GT, Mach 1, and if we're going one level up from Mach 1, I would consider a GT350. Within terms of Shelby name. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. I was interrupted. But GT350 would just be that top spec car I would make that goal for. There's not a lot of specs I like in the GT350s, but there is a couple I would consider. I'm not a fan of striped cars. The only striped car I would consider doing in a GT350 is going to be the Heritage color, white with the blue GT350 stripes. That's the only stripe package I would consider. Colors I would consider in a GT350 would be solid white, sick combo, Ford Performance blue. I'm trying to remember that color gray they came in. It was like an Avalanche gray or a Nardo gray. That's a cool color I would consider. No black. I wouldn't do a black GT350. And or yeah, I'm limited on specs on those cars. Within terms of what I like. I don't like loud. I don't like crazy. I like subtle. I like things that are a little edgy. So yeah, that would definitely take some thought and consideration within terms of if I wanted to just say F it when I was ready to buy the Mach 1, and if I couldn't find the car and for a little bit more, the right GT350 for the right price comes available, I would consider it. I would consider it. That, of course, is going to be a time where, you know, Fox bodies on jack stands. We're in our own garage, and we're doing content. So, and then if we decide to skip the Cobra and go Mach 1 or GT, we'll maybe bring a new edge back to the channel later on. Like I was kind of saying earlier, the Cobra, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or not, but the Cobra is like a retirement car to me. That's going to be the car that, like, bucket list car, cherry on top. I've always wanted one, and when the opportunity comes, the opportunity comes. But also at the same time, if I'm building the Fox body and say we go Fighter Jet Gray 21 Mach 1, I would maybe consider another 0304 Mach 1. My only issue is with going with another Mach 1 is finding the right color and finding the right car, because I would do one of two things. I would either want to find the closest one to bone stock, and or like an idiot, I would probably want one that I can start fresh with and do everything I wanted to do to my more recent Mach 1. Relive and rebuild what the dream of that car was if I was ever in the position to be able to do that. Full built motor, full bolt on, full suspension, pro charged 600 horsepower street monster, which is what I wanted to do with that car. Would I want to relive that dream? I don't know. I think a 21 Mach 1 would be dope. Fox body build's going to happen on the channel. And maybe foresee a new edge in the future. I'm so not sure which direction to go. There's so many options. The 0304 Cobra would be sick, but I kind of want that newer car experience. So I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments, what do you think? I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm making goals, trying to figure out what direction we're going to go. But new edge for sure, not new edge, Fox body is definitely going to happen on the channel here in the near future. When the funds are available, we're going to start hunting for a project car, and we're just going to build it over time. So long as we can afford to get the, whether it's the Terminator, the 21 Mach 1, or the Shelby GT350, whatever we could budget within terms of the options of those cars, those are going to be cars that I would consider looking at purchasing, driving, and not putting any money into, and focus on maintenance while we build the Fox body. The only car I would consider modding would be Gen 3 GT, which I don't really want to mess with. And if I get the 21 Mach 1, I'd maybe do an E85 tune off the get-go, and then save up and put the blower on it. Fuel system, just make it to where I could enjoy it and not get stupid with it. Keep the car as is. But I'm getting carried away. I'm repeating myself a lot. Tell me, guys, what you guys think in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys checking back in. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. What car should be the next Mustang for the channel? I want to hear your opinions, but box body's going to happen. I need to relive it. I need to relive it, even if it's a 10-year project car. It was my first car, and I want to build my dream Fox body, and nothing's going to stop me. We're going to do it. So hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you aren't already. And guys, don't forget, stay savages. Savage Mustang Media. We're going to do it. We're building it. And as I continue to build my following, I'll put a plug here for my Instagram. Mustang Evan. Follow me on Instagram. Hopefully, once I build my following up enough on Instagram, we'll maybe start doing live discussions on there. Need to get up to 1,000 followers on Instagram to go live, which I think is lame because I used to go live all the time on Instagram years ago. But just trying to get back into the social media, trying to plug myself back in, and try to learn this, try to grow, and let's do something here, guys. So looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Stay savages. Peace. We'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.